Have you tried calling Social Security lately? Maybe to ask about a missing check or get help with a claim? New changes at Social Security are making it harder than ever to reach a real person for help. With quiet rollouts and policy shifts already creating new roadblocks that many people have never faced before. Let's talk about what's happening, what's behind these changes, and how it could affect your benefits going forward. Now, let's start with the basics. Right now, if you call Social Security for help, chances are the first thing you hear isn't a human voice. It's a robot, and not the helpful kind. It's an artificial intelligence chatbot that sounds polite at first, but the second you try to ask something specific, like why your check didn't arrive, it starts spitting out unrelated facts. Medicare premiums, COLA adjustments, or telling you to hang up. And no matter how many times you say, agent, it just keeps going in circles.
How can I help you today?
Can I speak to an agent?
To better serve you, please briefly explain the reason for your call. How can I help you today?
I didn't get a check in April.
The 2025 Cost of Living Adjustment, or COLA, for Social Security and Supplemental Security Income, or SSI, beneficiaries is 2.5%. The standard Medicare Part B premium is $185 per month. If you're finished, feel free to hang up. Otherwise, how can I help you today?
And here's the kicker. That chatbot I mentioned, it's not just the main phone line anymore. Social Security has already rolled it out in hundreds of field offices across the Southeast and Northeast, and the plan is to bring it to all local offices by the summer. So pretty soon, even if you try calling your neighborhood office for help, you might still be met with the same robotic runaround. You say, agent, and it pretends it doesn't hear you. You explain the problem, and it responds with something completely unrelated. That's not just frustrating, it's exhausting, especially when all you're trying to do is get a straight answer about your benefits. So how did things get to this point? Earlier this year, a team from DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, came into Social Security with a big mission. They wanted to cut costs, stop fraud, and modernize the system. But instead of fixing problems, a lot of their changes made things worse. They assumed fraud was happening mostly over the phone, so they made staff put a 3-day hold on all phone claims, even though there was no solid evidence to support that. The result? Huge delays, confusion, and a whole lot of stress for both workers and the people calling in. And guess how many cases of fraud that whole system caught? Just 2, out of more than 100,000 calls. And while all that time and effort went into stopping a fraud problem that barely existed, real problems were building up. Right now, over 575,000 retirement claims are pending, and nearly 500,000 of those came in just the past 2 months. That's the highest volume the agency has ever seen in such a short window. More people are turning 65, new laws are encouraging some workers to apply earlier, and others are just plain worried. They're rushing to file now, in case the system gets worse. But with fewer workers and slow, clunky tech, those applications are backing up fast. On top of that, thousands of longtime employees either retired early or took reassigned jobs to avoid getting pushed out. The new hires coming in, they're doing their best, but many are still being trained. And meanwhile, field offices are running out of basic supplies like paper and phone headsets. Some can't even replace broken furniture or pay interpreters because spending is frozen and approval has to go through a bottleneck process. Staff are literally buying their own supplies just to keep the offices going. And now, to be fair, there are people inside the agency who recognize the damage. Frank Bisignano, the new commissioner who just stepped in, is reportedly not a fan of the way DOGE has handled things. After seeing the chaos firsthand, he said to be looking for ways to undo the harm and get the agency back on track. That's reassuring, but change like that takes time. And for now, the pain of those decisions, the long waits, the dropped calls, the missing checks, is still being felt every day. So what does this mean for you? Well, if you're already retired or planning to retire soon, it means delays. You might wait weeks or months for your claim to go through. If your check is late, you might have to call several times before getting a human. If you're applying online, the website might crash. And for people who are already feeling stretched thin, that kind of uncertainty can be scary. Now, if you haven't applied yet, This is a sign to get your documents organized. Start early, keep good records, and follow up often. And if you know someone struggling to get through, try helping them out, whether it's with a call, a ride to the field office, or just letting them know they're not alone. And honestly, staying informed really helps. Because while a lot of this mess started with avoidable mistakes, we can still push for better. Better service, better systems, and better support for the people who built this country and are just trying to claim what they've earned. So now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you had trouble reaching Social Security lately? Did the chatbot give you the runaround? Was your call dropped or your issue ignored? Let's talk about it in the comments. Your story might help someone else feel less alone, or even help them find a workaround. Thanks for spending a bit of your day with me. Let's keep looking out for each other.